Good afternoon. Welcome to the May 11th formal meeting of the Phoenix City Council. I will now call the meeting to order and ask Councilwoman Guardado to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilwoman Ansari.
Here.
Councilman DeCiccio.
Here.
Councilmember Garcia.
Here.
Councilwoman Guardado.
Here.
Councilwoman O'Brien.
Here.
Councilwoman Stark.
Here.
Councilman Waring.
Here.
Vice Mayor Pastor. Mayor Gallego.
Here. Thank you for joining us. Mario Barajas is here to provide interpretation. Mario, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, Mayor. Thank you. My name is Mario Barajas, and together with my colleague Elsie Duarte, we'll be serving as Spanish interpreters for today's City Council meeting. I'll now take a moment to introduce myself to our Spanish-speaking audience and review a few housekeeping matters as well. Hola, buenas tardes. Bienvenidos a la reunión formal del Consejo Municipal. Mi nombre es Mario Barajas y junto con mi colega Elsie Duarte estaremos sirviéndoles hoy como intérpretes a los de habla hispana. Deseamos pedirles de antemano, si es que van a dar un comentario público, por favor, hable despacio, con claridad y evite tener distracciones de fondo. Finalmente, pause después de cada uno o dos oraciones para que les podamos interpretar lo que esté diciendo de la manera más completa posible. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mario. I'll turn to our city attorney after the city clerk reads the 24-hour paragraph.
The titles of the following ordinance and resolution numbers on the agenda were available to the public at least 24 hours prior to this council meeting and therefore may be read by title or agenda item only. Ordinances numbered G6966 and 6982 through 6985, S48551 through 48602 and 48604 through 48614, and resolutions 22014 through 22019.
Thank you. I'll now turn to our city attorney to introduce the role of public comment in council meetings.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of the public may speak for up to 2 minutes to comment on agenda items to be discussed. Comments must be related to the agenda item and the action being considered by the council. General comments that go beyond the scope of the agenda item must be made in the citizen comment session at the end of the agenda. The City Council and staff cannot discuss or comment on matters related to pending investigation, claims, or litigation. The City Code requires speakers to present their comments in a respectful and courteous manner. Profane language, threats, or personal attacks on members of the public, council members, or staff are not allowed. A person who violates these rules will lose the opportunity to continue to speak.
Thank you so much. Councilwoman Stark, I will turn to you for motions related to meeting minutes.
Thank you. I reviewed the minutes of June 24th, 2020, and I recommend approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the meeting minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Passes unanimously. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion related to boards and commissions?
Motion to approve mayor and city council boards and commissions nominations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, nay? Passes unanimously. Next, we move to the liquor license portion of our meeting. We advise the state on liquor licenses. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve items 3 through 15.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Passes unanimously. City Clerk, are we ready for ordinances, resolutions, new business, planning, and zoning?
Yes, Mayor.
Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve items 16 through 119, except the following. Items 51, 52, 63, 76, 77, 87, 116, and 117. Noting that item 103 is as corrected. Item 118 is requested to be continued to June 1st, 2022. Item 119 is requested to be withdrawn from the May 11th, 2022 formal agenda to be reposted as a public hearing at a future formal meeting on a date to be determined, and excluding these items for virtual public comment, items 87 and 107. Can the clerk confirm if there are any other items that should be excluded for in-person public comment?
Yes, Mayor and Vice Mayor, also excluding items 49, 50, 56, and 81. That's items 49, 50, 56, and 81 for in-person comments.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Next, we go to item 49, which is our intergovernmental agreement with ASU Global Institute of Sustainability for greenhouse gas emissions inventory, one of our many great partnerships with ASU on today's council meeting agenda. Do we have a motion?
I move item 49.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We will go to public comment. Leonard Clark.
Thank you, Mayor and Council members. My name is Leonard Clark. I might have put neutral on this, but now I'm a strong supporter of this as a person that was born here in the city of Phoenix. I think that time is extremely critical, to say the least. Some scientists say we are in the sixth extinction right now event, and ASU is an excellent university. We're very privileged to have them near our city and in our city. So we better get on top of this man-made global climate change. A lot of people think that it's not a big deal, but now we have to look at the fact that our water is greatly decreasing with this mega drought, and man-made global climate change only makes it much worse. Lake Powell, Lake Mead, we're in very dangerous territory, and we don't even know when these water rations are going to start. So I strongly support this, and I hope that every council member will vote for this, and thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. This is a very important one. The water energy nexus is key for us as a desert community. So many of our departments have seen a decrease in energy consumption in recent years, but not the Water Services Department, and this data will be very, very helpful to understanding our uses and developing strategies for enhanced energy efficiency. Council comments. Councilwoman Ansari.
Thank you, Mayor. I do have one question, but while I wait for folks to come down, I'll make some comments. I'm fully in support of this item. Having an inventory of emissions that are caused by our water system's energy consumption will be incredibly important as we update our climate action plan, especially since we will be updating that again next year. I think it is an overdue study, and it will show that we are behind on our climate goals, and we need to act as soon as possible in anticipation with that, especially as we continue to add large-scale water users and are building out our city. I have no doubt that this inventory will tell us what we already know, which is that we need to build large utility-scale solar projects, push our utilities to move fully away from fossil fuels, and increase our water efficiency while reducing consumption. We should be taking each of these actions now. So that leads me to my question. I know we have been discussing water quite a bit, and I could see the results of this inventory actually benefiting some of the education and outreach campaigns that we're working on to influence a reduction in water usage by businesses and the public. So I was wondering, Karen, are we planning to include, for example, the amount of emissions that someone may cut if they reduced their water usage by X%, and just overall, how do you see this this inventory helping us in our efforts on the water side? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Councilwoman Ansari, for that question. So this is a consumption-based emissions inventory so that each of our residents and those of us who need to analyze these things can understand what the emissions are for every gallon of water that is delivered and consumed. So yes, I think that it would inform those kinds of conservation efforts, as it will quantify not only the energy use that our city water services department that occurs, but also the emissions associated with getting the water there in the first place. So this is going to be a very helpful analysis.
Okay, that's great to hear. And what does the timeline look like to get the results of this study and then the efforts that we're undertaking at the same time? Will we be able to pair those two together?
Yes, so thank you, Mayor, Councilwoman Ansari. So we have completed our 2020 emissions inventory. We have a consumption-based inventory for food that is being finalized. This water consumption-based inventory would be finalized later this year, and so could be used to inform those discussions probably next year.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate this and all of your hard work on this. Thank you.
Thank you. And coupled with the great work we're doing with the Blue Bank in item 102, we really are being data-driven and leading the way and doing some things that other communities are not doing. So thank you to our team for really being on the forefront of important issues. A good council meeting today for water energy nexus, and again, Phoenix leading the way. Any additional comments? Roll call.
Ansari.
Yes.
DeCiccio.
Oh, hey, one thing we ought to think about too as we're doing this, we're going to look at our codes and our ordinances. And like, I just literally found this out a couple of weeks ago. We have a code or an ordinance within the city, I'm not sure which one it is, but that does not allow the fake grass, the artificial turf in the medians. It has to be real. So it's something that we may, and staff's aware of it now. They've been dealing with it, trying to figure out a way to make it work. But just something like that is something that we ought to be looking internally on and see how we fit a lot of these things that we already have in place and how we can readjust. So just something to think about. It was interesting to me, more than anything else, that, you know, we can't allow certain things in there, but we ought to be able to make it allowable. You know, I would think in almost every circumstance. I can't think of where we wouldn't, but something like that. Thanks a lot, Mary. I'm a yes.
I apologize, Councilman. Was that a yes?
That's a yes. Correct.
Thank you very much. Garcia?
Yes.
Guardado?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Stark?
Yes.
Waring?
Yes.
Pastor?
Yes.
Gallego?
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
We next go to item 50, which is authorization to apply for, accept, and implement HUD Family Self-Sufficiency Coordinator Grant. So an exciting item to help people get higher wage employment. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
I move item 50.
Second.
Wonderful. We have a motion and a second. Leonard Clark, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. My name is Leonard Clark, and I think this is excellent. I support this, so if I put neutral, then I want to correct that to I support it. We have a lot of families, and we think that sometimes an overreach of government happens when we do these kinds of programs where we pay people to go out and help low-income people who are very close to being homeless. I think this is excellent because this is the tip of the iceberg, because when we see the homeless people out on the street, our homeless brothers and sisters, a lot of this could be due to the fact that their family, dysfunctional family situations, low income, all of these things. I think this is a great program. There's a lot of people that could really that could benefit to start their little businesses, in this internet economy that we have, high-tech economy. Everybody potentially can be a part of this economy. And so I strongly support this, and I hope that we can get more people back into the workforce and try to reduce the numbers of people who are on low-income assistance and who are homeless by this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Council comments. Roll call.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
We next move to item 51, Early Head Start Home-Based Curriculum. Do we have a motion?
I move item 51.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'll turn to Councilwoman Ann O'Brien.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, I'm excited to support both 51 and 52. These two items are continued efforts to bring education to the children of our city. We know quality early childhood education is critical for every child, but especially for children who experience trauma or homelessness, and an excellent education is the foundation to post-secondary educational opportunities such as apprenticeships, like the ones we just approved for our city departments a few months back, or trades, or community college, or university. Having served on a school board for the past 7.5 years and finishing out my last term as president there, I know that each child learns at their own pace and requires different tools to grasp the knowledge being taught by their teachers. The pandemic and closing of our schools only exacerbated the fact and made these struggles and truths more visible, revealing to parents and community members what educators already know. These programs will not only bring educational opportunities to the children, but will also provide additional opportunities through our libraries and continued partnerships with ASU to provide resources to anyone who seeks them. I'm hopeful that continued focus and investment in individual learning styles and providing resources for early childhood education will continue to be a priority for this council, as there is no greater return for our tax dollar than a well-educated, well-trained workforce. Thank you, Mayor.
Well said, Councilwoman. Thank you. Any additional comments on Early Head Start? Councilwoman Ansari.
My apologies. My comments are actually for item 52.
And more good news coming. Glad in this one that we can help support our youngest children and their parents. This will be a great partnership with the Teachers National Center. Roll call.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
We next move to item 52, our library's partnership with ASU on tutoring and other support services for our kids. Do we have a motion?
I move item 52.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Councilman O'Brien, any additional comments?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. And we will turn to public comment to Leonard Clark. You may provide comments on both this partnership and our Early Head Start partnership.
I think it's an excellent idea. My name is Leonard Clark. The earlier we can start education of our children, so many studies have shown that when our children start learning pre-kindergarten, I can tell you as a former teacher that when I was a kindergarten teacher, when a student could come into my class and be able to use those fine motor skills to hold a pencil and save having to do that effort with that student, it freed me up to help the other students who couldn't hold the pencils. So I think this is a huge deal. I want to thank Arizona State University as a native of Phoenix, and I also want to thank Grand Canyon University as well in our city, our beautiful city, who are also going out and tutoring our children. And thank you, and I strongly support this. I hope you'll vote for it.
Thank you. I'll turn to Councilwoman Ansari.
Thank you, Mayor. I am also very, very excited to support this. I'm glad there's 2 items on education today. We know Arizona is in a crisis when it comes to public education, and that was only made worse by the pandemic. And low-income and Black and brown students often face the worst of this. I think tutoring makes a significant impact, and this program is an absolutely fantastic addition to our efforts, both providing valuable resources to our K-8 students, but also providing experience to ASU students in one-on-one teaching. This is just a hope. I'm not sure if this program, I know it mentions tutoring taking place in public facilities, and we know that transportation can often be a barrier for students to get to and from programs, especially if they are younger. So just want to add in a note that I hope there's a virtual option to this program as well, and excited to vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Additional comments? Roll
Mayor?
call. Councilman DeCiccio.
Oh, that's okay. I can just do it during the vote. That's fine.
Perfect.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio.
And just a quick comment on this, and I said it maybe a year ago, that the pandemic hurt the kids that came from poorer families more than it hurt anyone else. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that their schools shut down longer. The rich schools, the kids where the parents were heavily involved and pushing for it, they opened up a lot sooner than a lot of these poor districts, which I still don't understand. The impact that that pandemic had on these poor kids is going to last longer than we could ever imagine. The fat individuals, these kids, the wealth gap is going to exceed a lot further than it's ever been. We always talk about that. But what a lot of people don't realize, that the policies from some of these school districts have created this mess. They created it. They created the division. They created the fact that these individuals, these kids, because they're poor and their parents were like my mom and dad who were really poor, they would not know better because they didn't. My dad had a 6th grade education. My mom had a 4th grade education. They don't know. They trust people in power and authority when in fact they worked against them. And these richer school districts where the parents were more engaged, had a little more pull, they insisted on their schools being opened. And the pandemic is going to hurt those kids even more that were poor, and I feel sorry for them. And I vote yes on this, Mayor.
Councilman DeCiccio, can you express your vote, please?
Yes. I'm sorry. I thought I said yes.
Oh, I apologize. Thank you. Garcia?
Yes.
Guardado?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Stark?
Yes.
Waring?
Yes.
Pastor?
Yes.
Gallego?
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
We next move to item 56, fiscal year 2022-23 CDBG neighborhood infrastructure and enhancement programs. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
I move item 56.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Leonard Clark is here to provide comments.
My name is Leonard Clark. Sorry, I do talk a lot, but this is a beautiful city that I was born in. Even though I don't reside in it right now, I live out in Youngtown, but it'll always be the city that I was born in and that I love. I support this, and it is my negligence and that I didn't read through the whole thing, but I would hope that somewhere in there we have more swimming pools, because we wrongfully, in my opinion, closed down a lot of public swimming pools. And with global warming going up, we have plenty of these private lakes in these different wealthy neighborhoods. I think it's about time that the children and the families of our beautiful city, the 5th largest in the United States of America, has more built-in pools, because many people cannot afford them unless they can pay these exorbitant rents in their apartments. So I think that's apropos within the scope of this agenda item. If you didn't approve any more built-in pools, I would hope that you do that. That way the kids are off the streets, and they're in the water, they're learning how to swim, and that would be a great thing. Thank you. I hope you'll vote for this.
Thank you, Leonard. Any council comments? Roll call.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
We next move to item 63, mobile stroke unit. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Move item 63, Fire Department contract with Dignity Health for mobile stroke unit.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Councilwoman Ansari.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm in support of any program that will save lives and improve public health outcomes. I think we probably all know someone in our lives who has suffered a stroke at some point, and many of them have been able to avoid lingering consequences or even survived had they received treatment sooner. It's noted in this item that the probability of a good outcome is reduced by 10% every 30 minutes that treatment is not provided. This program, I think, will save lives, but it will also alleviate additional pressures on our fire department as they face increasing calls this summer. In meeting with fire last week, it was emphasized to me that minutes or even seconds can make all the difference in response to a fire, and the same is true for a stroke. This is also at no cost to the city, so I'm looking forward to seeing the results and possibly expanding this program in the future. It's an agreement with Valley Metro Rail Inc. for, that is something different, but thank you. I look forward to supporting this item.
Thank you, Councilwoman. This is life-saving and showing how our fire department is on the advanced edge of using technology. So credit to all involved. Any additional comments? Roll call.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Items 76 and 77 are related to Valley Metro Light Rail. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion on items 76 and 77?
I move item 76 and 77.
Second.
I somehow feel Councilman Ansari might have comments on this.
No, I do not have comments on this.
Okay.
I do support it, though. Thank you.
Appreciate that partnership with Valley Metro and investment in light rail. Any council comments?
Mayor?
Go ahead, Councilwoman.
I think it's exciting that there is this expansion and that we have been working for a long time for this to happen, and it's nice to see that it's moving along, and we're suffering through the expansion at this moment, but it will be gone soon.
Absolutely, and some of the best small business support programs we've had. So thank you to all involved in that as well. Roll call.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
No.
Pastor,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-1.
We next move to item 81, recycling of plastics. Requirements contract. I'm sorry, 87?
81, Mayor. Yes, you were correct the first time.
Okay,
Thank you.
81. All right. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion on 81?
Move item 81.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on item 81. Any comments? And do we have public comment on this one?
Yes, Mayor, we do. We have Leonard Clark, who is here in person.
Leonard, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. My name is Leonard Clark. I think anything that can help us recycle all of the plastic. You know, we are the 5th largest city in the United States of America, and we are a trendsetter in just that fact alone. So even with garbage cans, plastic, we have plastic everywhere, and I haven't updated myself on the situation with recycling in general of plastic in the city of Phoenix, but I would hope that we could expand this. There's already studies saying that plastic is something that does have carcinogens, I can't even say it, cancer-causing things that are in them. I drink out of bottled water all the time. So anyways, I hope you expand the recycling program, and I strongly support this. We've got too much plastic. It's everywhere. And I hope there's some chemist out there, especially in the city of Phoenix, some young, enterprising chemist who can come up with something where plastic could be a much more, or some type of other material that could be recycled much easier. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonard. Any council comments? Roll call.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
We next move to item 87, Comprehensive Micromobility Program Request for Proposals. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
I move item 87.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ryan Boyd is here to provide public comment online.
Good afternoon, Mayor, members of council. For the record, Ryan Boyd with the Urban Phoenix Project. In support of this expansion, but really we have been looking to try to see if we could expand this even further. We think that there's been a lot of support for this. If you look at the Phoenix's outreach, the actual survey responses from in-person events in the corridor actually were more supportive than just the online one. And both actually had majority support a 2-mile expansion around the light rail corridor. So we're very supportive of trying to make sure that we have this option available. We think that if you want to reach your goals with your climate action plan and making it more comfortable to make that mile journey to light rail to other public transit corridors, you need to have those options. This expansion, it is the step in the right direction, but we would rather see an option that allows folks to opt in and to make that happen quicker in a way that doesn't have to kind of come through 6 months and coming back to council just to add in neighborhoods such as Coronado and others that may want to have this, especially because we have options that we've seen with the geofencing of areas within the current pilot zone, as well as options like residential parking meters, not meters, but the permitted parking process, where we've had folks that have options to opt out of certain things the city does, be that on-street parking, to really make the system work. So we are supportive of item 87, but we would be much more supportive if it was a little bit more expansive is where we're at. Thank you so much, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Ryan. I'll next turn to Councilman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple of questions for staff. We have staff available virtually as well. I forgot.
Councilman O'Brien, I'm here, available.
Thank you, Keeney. I was looking for you here in chambers. Can you explain why we're doing phase 1 in an area of town without light rail?
Mayor, Councilwoman O'Brien, members of council, when we were putting together a potential expansion, the first thing we were looking at is to be able to move beyond our current scooter pilot program that's been in operation for a number of years. That's focused in the downtown area. But we know there's a demand for putting out more micromobility devices, e-bikes, pedal bikes, adaptive bikes. We were looking for an expansion area. And so this will be the first time we're expanding potentially beyond the downtown area where we have a different parking structure for docking those vehicles, but we also, it'll be the first time we're working with other vehicles. And so we also know that at the same time we have our road safety action plan, our Vision Zero plan that we're working on that is really focused in on making sure everybody's on our roadways is safe, and we have mechanisms to keep everybody safe, and that's a multifaceted approach that we're going to be working on. And so I think What we would want to make sure is we're doing is when we're putting out additional vehicles, additional devices out there into areas of the city that people might not be familiar with them, we're also making sure we're taking steps to keep those folks and everybody on the street safe. And so the phased approach is really to do a phased expansion to see how these additional devices and the additional things that we're going to be doing with this micromobility program are received in certain areas of the city, parts of the city, and then look at a phased expansion beyond there. I think one thing we wanted to make sure is we have these micromobility devices, the options available when we have the Super Bowl in February of 2023. So some more than just, but you have the scooter program that we have today. Hope that answers your question.
That is helpful. We do have light rail, though. It extends to north into, Dunlap and 19th. And so can you help me understand why that we didn't extend that way or why that wasn't included in the expansion?
Mayor, Councilwoman O'Brien, members of council, as with the phased expansion, I think we were looking for a smaller expansion area. I think we definitely see the opportunity to be able to expand along the light rail corridors in the future. And I think as you and I talked about a little bit, is when we look at a potential expansion beyond this first area we're looking at expanding to, we'll be working with the community, with the council, and on opportunities to be able to expand beyond the downtown area or the expansion area we have planned right now. But I would say we would definitely see an opportunity to be able to expand along the light rail corridor, the existing light rail corridor, but we were looking for a smaller expansion area initially.
And do our vendors have the capability? ASU has been successful in geofencing their campus. They're in downtown in Tempe to prevent scooters from being all over the campuses. And Old Town Scottsdale has areas within their core that are geofenced to encourage safe pedestrian use. Are we able to request from our vendors the inclusion of the ability to geofence specific areas and communities to prevent scooters from being left around their neighborhoods?
Mayor, Councilwoman O'Brien, members of council, yes, under our existing scooter program, we do have geofencing in certain areas of the downtown area that it operates in. We would continue to have that opportunity to be able to geofence areas that we want to keep certain vehicles or devices out of. But I will tell you, one of the things we've realized with the scooter program we have today is this geofencing can only be reliable at times as on the commercial grade GPS that these devices operate under. So sometimes those aren't exactly as accurate as you want to be in a downtown environment. And so they're generally accurate, but doesn't mean that there can't be times when the GPS isn't as responsive as we'd like it to be. But yes, all the different vendors would have the opportunity or ability to have their devices be able to be geofenced in areas where they should not be operating.
Thank you very much, Keeney.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any additional council comments?
Mayor.
Vice Mayor.
Thank you. I really appreciate Ryan Boyd's comments, but through our committees, we have discussed this extensively, especially in the micromobility program and talking about really providing our community a road safety action plan before we add and extend more mobility within the area of all our areas. One in particular, there was a question about the light rail area and why it hasn't been expanded. I believe that in that expansion at each district that it is expanding in, that they have community events with their neighborhoods to really see where the expansion should go and how it should be implemented and where the dynamics happens. I know that there has been conversations with communities, as Ryan Boyd stated, but each line is very unique and different. I would tell you on the 7s, if you look at our sidewalks and where we would want to put micromobility and park those scooters and other items, we don't have enough on our sidewalks. So we will really have to identify those areas. So it's not as simple as expansion and being able to discuss with our unique communities. but appreciate it, and I know that we will be talking about it further in our Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, because we're also looking at canals and placing micromobilities on canals. So it is a larger discussion, and appreciate the comments from the constituent and Councilwoman O'Brien.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Councilwoman Ansari.
Thank you. I just want to say that I am strongly in support of this program. I think it is a great step towards reducing our dependence on cars. I look forward to hopefully expanding it in the near future as well. I think in our urban core, our transit-oriented development areas, this is a huge, huge need and coincides very well with our Road Safety Action Plan and Vision Zero. Just last night, we had 40,000 visitors downtown Phoenix for various events, and I know that expanding micromobility zones will help more visitors enter and get around downtown, while also, again, reducing congestion and reducing our dependence on cars and need for parking and all of the other issues that we discussed. So I'm excited to support this today and look forward to continued discussions to make sure that we continue to offer this to any resident in the city of Phoenix who wants it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Ansari. I'm looking forward for Phoenix to continue to be leaders in micromobility as well. Any additional comments? Roll call.
Ansari.
Yes.
DeCiccio.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
No.
Pastor.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 8-1.
We next move to the planning and zoning portion of our meeting, particularly focused on Council District 7. We will go to item 107, which is a final plat at the northwest corner of 59th Avenue and Baseline Road. This is in Council District 7, so I will turn to Councilwoman Ansari for a motion.
Move to approve item 107.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We do have one public comment from Mark Rodriguez, who is online. And Mark, we always love hearing from you generally in public comment, but for this one, we would love to hear your thoughts on 59th Avenue and Baseline Road.
All right, Mayor and Mayor Gallego, members of the City Council. I live on 59th Avenue and Baseline because I always go to the stores and all that stuff, because I always love to go over there and all that stuff, because I always trying to go everywhere to every store, to like TJ Maxx, Michael's, Sprouts, Jack in the Box, and many other stores like Ollie's. And I hope you make a movie theater real soon, because Mayor Gallego, Yasmin Ansari, members of the City Council, and Laura Pastor, Vice Mayor, have a wonderful day. And I hope you give me comments, to public comments, so I can talk to me, okay? Have a great day. To infinity and beyond.
Thank you, Mark, for your support of this final plat. Any additional council comments? Roll call.
Ansari.
Yes.
DeCiccio.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
We will hear items 116 and 117 together. They are related companion cases at the southeast corner of 27th Avenue and Buckeye Road, again in Council District 7. We will begin with a brief staff report, and I'll turn it over to Josh Bednarik on behalf of the Planning Department.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the Council. The property in question for both cases is 19.8888 acres located at the southeast corner of 27th Avenue and Buckeye Road in Council District 7. Item 116 is GPA EST 2-21-7, a request to change the general plan land use map designation for the property from commercial and public, quasi-public to industrial. Item 117 is Z79-21-7, a request to rezone the property from C3 and R3 to A1 for a light industrial facility. The Astoria Village Planning Committee heard both requests on March 15th and recommended approval by votes of 7-0. The Planning Commission heard both requests on April 7th and recommended approval per the Estrella Village Planning Committee's recommendation by votes of 7-0. Staff recommends approval of GPA EST 2-21-7 per the Planning Commission's recommendation and adoption of the related resolution. Staff recommends approval of Z 79-21-7 per the Planning Commission recommendation and adoption of the related ordinance. Mayor, happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any questions before we open the public hearing? All right. I will open the public hearing. We do not have any members of the public to comment, so I will close the public hearing and turn to Councilwoman Ansari.
Move to approve item 116 and 117.
I think
And
you
let's
could
do
them
them, let's
separate.
take just 116.
Move to approve item 116.
Mayor, Council,
Per the-
per the Planning Commission recommendation, adoption of the related resolution for that one.
Apologies. Motion to approve item 116 per the Planning Commission recommendation and adopt the related resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Thank you. And this is one where we're moving towards industrial, which from my perspective is not something we would do everywhere, such as along the light rail, but does seem to make sense in this case. Councilman Ansari, 117, do we have a motion?
Move to approve item 117 per the Planning Commission recommendation and adopt the related ordinance.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments? Roll call.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Garcia, Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Councilman DeCiccio, do you have any motions?
I do, Mayor. Thank you for that. Yeah, I made an error on 76 and 77 and would like to reconsider it. And instead of sending a memo that would reconsider it, and delay the process, there's no reason to do that. That would be silly on my part. But I'd like to ask for a reconsideration of those two items today, 76 and 77, Mayor.
All right. Councilman DeCiccio has a motion to reconsider 77 and 76, both related to light rail. Is there a second on his motion?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second. So we will conduct a voice vote. If this passes, we will revote on the light rail items. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. I believe we did have some nays, but the motion carries. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion on 77 and 76? Or 76 and 6.
I move item 76.
Second.
Can we do both? Oh, I'm sorry. we do
76 and
both here?
77. 76 and 77, sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
Second.
Thank you. That's okay.
All right. So we have a motion on the table. And again, a yes vote is in support of the light rail and a no vote would be against. Roll call.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio,
And thank you, Mayor. It was my bad. I'm sorry. I thought we were on another item. No.
Garcia,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Mayor, I'd like to explain my vote.
Please.
I do support 76 and 77 in 2000. Phoenix citizens with 58% support passed Prop 400, and then again in 2014 they passed Prop 104 with nearly 55% support, and then finally again in 2019 the citizens of Phoenix, almost at 63%, voted to continue the expansion of light rail. So with that, I vote yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
No.
Pastor,
Yes.
Gallego.
Yes.
Passes 7-2.
Thank you. That concludes the agendized portion of our meeting, and we next go to resident comment. I'll turn to our city attorney to introduce this portion of our meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. During citizen comment, members of the public may address the City Council for up to 3 minutes on issues of interest or concern to them. The citizen comment session is limited to 30 minutes. The Arizona Open Meeting Law permits the City Council to listen to the comments, but prohibits council members from discussing or acting on the matters presented.
Thank you. We'll begin public comment with Stacy Champion online, followed by Mark Leonard in person.
Hello, Mayor. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
On January 5, 2022, I submitted a citizens petition at a formal city council meeting. My citizens petition was scheduled on the February 16, 2022 Transportation Infrastructure and Planning Subcommittee, where I wasn't allowed to present, though city staff did, and where no action was taken. Given this fact, along with the fact more than 1,000 unsheltered people are still currently without access to a sufficient number of 24/7 restrooms, including ADA accessible restrooms, plus more clean potable water surrounding the Human Services campus. Now more than 3 months later with hot temps already here is unacceptable. Therefore, I am submitting a new citizens petition, which I've already emailed to city staff, and request that it be handled per section 21, which states within 15 days before the full council and includes an action. The city regularly hosts large events where both restrooms and water are provided for people, so there's literally no excuse for the lag in action on this, especially as the largest complaint from nearby businesses and residents is human feces in the public right-of-way. Not only is the treatment of our unsheltered neighbors a blatant violation of international human rights, it is a ticking time bomb for heat illness and death, as well as a broad range of highly contagious diseases in general. People are already dying from heat, and if the city is really serious about protecting all lives, ensuring unsheltered people across the city have access to hydration and shade, and this includes just people using public transport, etc., will save them, and proper sanitation is a common sense public health measure. Thank you.
Thank you. Leonard Clark will be our final comment.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. It is wonderful to be back. It's been a long, brutal time when many of our citizens and folks have been killed by this pandemic. I just want to say that we are more far apart than ever here in the 5th largest city of, in the country, Phoenix, and also around the country, because my friends on the far left, who many of the young people, I love them and they know that, but I'm the curmudgeonly old man, because I tell them that if we do what some people want, which is to use violence, that's wrong. I'm hoping that they would follow the tenets of Dr. Martin Luther King, Cesar Chavez, Mahatma Gandhi. And for my friends on the right, we really do need to stop hating each other. I think they have good points. I think, like the pools being closed during the pandemic, these things showing when the water would disinfect this virus. And I'm going to move on from there because I'm not allowed to talk very long. But right now, a report was just released by the Secretary of the Interior, Deb Haaland. And it's very critical that right now they are concerned with the deaths of our indigenous First Nations children from these Indian schools. Here in Arizona, we had the second largest behind Carlisi Indian School. And now there is a report, thank you to Channel 12, where possibly on the corner where the community garden was, that there could be the buried bodies of indigenous children. Even Carlisi kept reports, but there's no reports of these children whom we know died from tuberculosis, from polio, which leads me to another second possible burial place, and a place that needs to be worked on, Cementerio Lindo. We bought that in like approximately 1961 from Maricopa County, right next to I-17 freeway, Durango and 15th Avenue. What is going on there? These were the hardworking people. They may have been poor. They may not be in where the wealthy or well-known people are at the cemetery just down the street from here. But Cementerio Lindo at 15th Avenue in Durango is a disgrace. I've been there. The graves are washed away. These were the hardworking people that helped build Phoenix. And I also suggest that some of the bodies of these are the indigenous children who were sent away in this horrible way and killed or died. They weren't sent back to their tribes, and they were buried. Maybe they were buried there. I'm concerned. I hope Deb Haaland, I've heard the City of Phoenix is maybe waiting to see what Deb Haaland will do, but it is owned by a private developer who seems to be saying, and other people are saying they're not aware of any communications between you and Deb Haaland working on this issue. And I hope that the developer who now owns this property at the corner of the Phoenix Indian School, right by the Veterans Hospital, will stop all activity, the normal archaeological excavations that were done. I'm not trying to denigrate the archaeological team that you hired, but they were finding blue bottles. One of the First Nation people, a Hopi from the First Nation Hopi, said that when they were digging the garden, she helped. They were finding blue little bottles, and they were told not to dig too deep. Please, I beg you, do some sonar. Find out if those bodies are buried there. They may be dead, but we need to respect the dead as well as the living. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes public comment for today's council meeting. We are adjourned.